heat and that fire. All right, y'all. We
Can't
on
hear
to
you, dog.
Oh, we can't hear me? All right. Jump back. You'll jump back in. This is HeKnows Sport again, bringing that heat and that fire. We talking about the debunking of, what I'm saying, double standards associated with boxing part 3, man. So let's get right into it, man. And let's talk about this because there's just a lot going on, man. And we got to really delve into this topic. So hear me and hear me well. Who's in the chat right now, man? Who is in the building? Talk to me. Talk to me. So we can get right into it. I'm gonna have my boy Tom Ross get into it. So we about to spearhead some topics here. Tom Ross, talk to us, man. You here, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I hear you.
All right, bet, man. Let's get into it, man. We debunking the double standards in boxing part 3, man. Talk to us, brother.
Yeah, man. Once again, we here to separate the weak from the strong, man. First topic for the day. First topic for the day is people are saying Tank ain't fighting nobody, and he just fighting a Gamboa. What people don't realize is Gamboa is more of a threat to Tank than fucking Loma is. Loma not who y'all think he is. Gamboa
Mm-hmm.
got a better chance of beating Tank than Loma do. But you
Facts.
gotta knock Tank out. You know what I'm saying? Like the thing is, people are they're prisoners of what mass media says. Mass
Mm-hmm.
media tells you that Lomachenko is a superior boxer. They tell you so much that when you see him getting beat up in fights, and you're dismissing it because ESPN say he's a superior boxer, he's a matrix, right? But truth be told, damn near every fight he leaves looking like a raccoon.
Facts.
Imagine that's Tank Davis instead of Luke Campbell. He gets washed. It's a reason why
Mm-hmm.
Tank Davis said, as soon as the fight was over between Luke Campbell, Tank Davis said, I'm moving to 135. Y'all don't understand that shit. He basically said, I can whoop this dude, man.
Yep.
I don't know when I've been tripping. I can whoop this dude. This motherfucker ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. Y'all talk about Gamboa's age, but truth be told, is Gamboa could still whoop most everybody at 135. He
Facts.
only having trouble with the young lions. And he probably could whoop them. I don't see Teofimo Lopez going there and just whooping Gamboa. No. He gonna have to earn that win. Tank is gonna have to earn that win. Tank ain't just I don't see Tank just going there and just knocking Gamboa out in 3 rounds. It's gonna be some shit he's gonna have to figure out. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts.
What you gotta say about it, HeKnows?
Let me tell you guys something, man. People that sitting here and acting like Gamboa is done. I mean, I don't know what you guys are talking about because in boxing, what people have to understand is the last thing to go is your power. Last time I checked, Gamboa still got his power. I've been watching Gamboa in training camp, and Gamboa is just firing off shots, man. He looks like a guy that's renewed because one of the worst types of fighters to deal with are fighters that are on their last leg. Fighters that
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, they know that the road is at a crossroads, is at an end, basically, so to speak. And they know that if they don't win this fight, that's it. Their boxing career is over. When you look at
Mm-hmm.
Gamboa, that's what you see. You see a fighter that's at the tail end, you know what I'm saying, of his boxing career. So that means he's coming in as a very dangerous fighter because he knows he has everything to lose if this fight doesn't go his way. So Tank is a dog. We know what Tank is going to do in this fight, and he's going to be prepared. But Gamboa has pop, man. This was evident from the Terrence Bud Crawford fight. He showed us
Mm-hmm.
what he was in that fight. And he showed us that, you know what I'm saying, he's here to bring it. But what people have to understand is Tank Davis is a fighter that's explosive. He's a fighter that's athletic. He's a fighter that, if he wasn't the fighter that people thought that he was, why did Vasily Lomachenko in the Richard Comey and the Teofimo Lopez fight say that when I unify, after the unification of the fight, after the unification of the fight, the fighter that I'm going to end up fighting is going to be Tank Davis for all of the marbles. He basically looked
Right.
at Teofimo Lopez as if he's a speed bump. So
Right.
when we say Teofimo Lopez is a super duper hype job, matter of fact, I'm the one that coined that phrase, and you know some folks have been able to see this, is the fact that in that fight against Richard Coleman, if people are being real with themselves, he was getting touched up, man. Richard Coleman was landing shots on Teofimo Lopez in that first round. He was outboxing him. He outboxed him in the first round. I don't know what fight everybody else watched. People are so caught up in Teofimo Lopez's knockout in the second round because that's what happened. He knocked him out in the second round. But what happened in the second round? Both fighters gambled. Teofimo Lopez's gamble ended up being quicker than Richard Coleman's. He beat him to the punch gambling. But going into the second round, Teofimo Lopez was already bleeding in his nose. This is evident of what we call being outboxed. But Richard Coleman went away from what he was doing. He was throwing the jab in so many different variations. He went away from that. And then he said, you know what? Let me gamble. He fell into Teofimo Lopez's game. Now, you got to give Teofimo Lopez credit for baiting him into that gamble because he basically appealed to Richard Coleman's wildness because you know Richard Coleman can be wild. But again, I gave Teofimo Lopez credit. So it's not a double standard or not keeping the same energy because I kept the same energy. Pre-fight, I called it. I said the early rounds are going to be troubling for both fighters. Did I not say that, Tom Ross? I said both fighters are it's going to be a dangerous fight. Richard Coleman is going to have to make sure he's not wild. And Teofimo Lopez is going to be dangerous in the early rounds because he's a front runner. And in those early rounds, if they have trade-offs, it'll be bad for Richard Coleman. Richard Coleman needs to weather the storm and then bring this fight into the law of attrition. Because if he can send Teofimo Lopez into deep waters, he can win the fight. I said it just like that.
Yep.
The fight ended up happening exactly like that. So it's not that I switched or I turned this, I turned that. One thing about He Knows the Sport is He Knows the Sport keeps it consistent and authentic all the time. There's no change. There's no changing that. So Teofimo Lopez gets credit because Teofimo Lopez saw an error in Richard Coleman that he exploited. And this platform and anybody else that watched that fight would be doing a disservice to boxing if you didn't see that and didn't acknowledge that. So I gave Teofimo Lopez credit. So if me giving a fighter credit that I didn't pick to win a double standard, then I don't know what the word double standard means. It means giving credit where credit is due. How about that's what it means? And that's what I did. But it still didn't excoriate us from the fact that Teofimo Lopez was exposed because he was touched up too much. And it also shed light that if he fights a higher level of competition, because his defense is shoddy at best, he's going to get touched up. And last time I checked, Lomachenko ain't no damn Neo for Matrix. We've already established that. But he's a better boxer than a Richard Coleman. And Vasily Lomachenko's been under the bright lights a lot longer and more tenured than a Richard Coleman. So I expect Loma to be able to do certain things that a Richard Coleman can't when he fights Teofimo Lopez. I'm sure as he was watching the fight, he could see the loopholes and the vulnerabilities that he could exploit based off of his experience and based off of his boxing ability. What you got to say about that, Tom Ross?
Yeah, man. Even after this win, I'm not necessarily saying he's a high job anymore, but I am saying this win doesn't make him proven either. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone's saying, "Oh, since he beat Comey, oh, he could definitely beat Loma." That's not the case. Because truth be told, I can see either one of them winning that fight. I can see Loma boxing circles around him, and I can see Teofimo Lopez, if he's smart, to walk up to Loma in the high guard and to beat him up and not box with him. to stall him out, keep him from, because Loma feeds out the crowd. You make it an ugly fight. Loma can't win an ugly fight. He's not a real. Loma's not a dog. You know what I'm saying? So that fight is 50-50 depending on how Teofimo Lopez wanted to come in there. But moving on to the next topic, a lot of people gave Charlo smoke when he fought Hogan. Did they not give him smoke when he fought Hogan? I
They
can't hear you,
did.
bro.
They
They
did.
gave him smoke, right? But now they trying to say Mean Machine is a credible opponent just because he dropped Bud.
That's foolery, man.
What they'll realize is because you hurt Bud, that don't mean nothing. Bud get hurt all the time.
Facts.
Bud always get hurt. That would mean Mean Machine is like it's not Mean Machine went in there and hurt Errol the Truth Spence. Because if he do that, then yeah, he's a problem. Because Errol the Truth Spence don't get hurt like that. But Bud stay getting hurt. He stay getting stinking ass getting dropped and shit. Get hurt to the body. Bud get hurt at least once every fight.
Facts.
He stay getting punished. You know what I mean? So because he punished Bud, that don't mean nothing. You see the double standard?
Mm-hmm.
Charlo can't fight Hogan. But Bud can fight Mean Machine, and they'll flip it to make it seem like Bud fought somebody that was of value. You know who else they did that shit with? Do you know who else they did that shit with? They did that shit with Tyson Fury too.
Yep. Tyson
Fury almost got stopped by Otto Wallin, and they said it was a tough way to gut that out.
Facts.
So let me get this straight. Deontay Wilder fights the most technical boxer in the heavyweight division twice. The dude nobody else want to fight. He not fighting nobody. Tyson Fury take his ass and find somebody all the way in Germany for the first fight, and I don't know where the fuck Otto Wallin come from. People we don't even know of, and almost get stopped on the second fight, but it's a great way to gut it out.
Facts.
You see how they doing this shit here? You know what I'm saying? And it just don't happen to be PBC fighters getting all the blame, Golden Boy or Matchroom or fucking top ranked fighters, they get excuses time and time again. The truth be told, Tyson Fury was exposed, and he hasn't been the same since fighting Deontay Wilder.
That's facts.
And the same thing with Terrence Bud Crawford. Terrence Bud Crawford has been exposed, man. He was not supposed to get dropped by Mean Machine like that. But that goes to show you that it's not the power, he just chinny. That goes to show you he just chinny. He always get hurt.
Facts.
Because if it was just the power, he only get hurt. He only get hurt by real Green Machine is top 10 and no he's not. No he's not. No he's not. He's top 10 in WBO. You know, top 10 WBO mean like 80th in the welterweight, man. Being top 10 in the WBO don't mean nothing, man.
Fact.
That's basura. You know Spanish?
Mm-hmm.
You know what basura mean?
Yep.
Being top 10 in the WBO don't mean. I'm trying not to cuss, but these guys need me no choice.
Irvin Hendry said they said Bud deliberately got touched up so PBC guys can fight him. Wow.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So if that's the case, what happened in the Benavidez fight? Did he deliberately get touched up there? Did Bud deliberately get touched up against Gamboa?
Good points.
He's meaning to tell me he wanted to get knocked out? He wanted to look embarrassing. Bud got hit so hard he looked like he was retarded.
Yep.
For a second. You ever seen like I'm not trying, no, I'm not even gonna do that. But anyway. People who are born mentally challenged, they have a certain way they walk. And when he got hit, he looked like he was born mentally challenged. You know what I'm saying? So the excuses they make for top-ranked fighters is beyond me, man. It's ridiculous. He knows what you got to say about that, bro.
Let me say this real quick, man. And I need to make this very clear. Here's the thing that people got to understand when you think of double standards associated with boxing. Here's the problem. Green Machine is not no damn top 10 at 147. That's a pandering narrative that's being pushed right now because they need to give Bud's performance credibility. They need to say he fought an arduous opponent. Bomac, who is Terrence Bud Crawford's trainer, came out of his mouth and said that Green Mean Machine was going to get knocked out in 3 rounds. That came out of his mouth. He's the one that said it. I didn't say it. He said it. So that speaks volumes. That speaks volumes to what's going on. It speaks volumes. Big time volumes. Mm-hmm. Now, the biggest thing is this, and people got to understand that. What people got to understand is when you look at Terrence Bud Crawford and you look at the difference between him and you look at the difference between a la Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo is a fighter that's willing to fight all top competition. Mm-hmm. He's been avoided for 4 to 5 years vehemently. Whereas Terrence Bud Crawford has fought a lot of opposition that has been subpar at best. And there's always an excuse. In the Jose Benavidez fight, he got touched up for 12 rounds, and they turned around and said at the end, but he knocked him out. It don't matter that he knocked him out. He wasn't supposed to be touched up the way that he was touched up. Right. The Amir Khan fight, that fight wasn't supposed to happen because we knew Amir Khan was damaged goods, beyond damaged goods, from the Danny Garcia fight and the fight against Canelo Alvarez. Jeff Horn, that fight wasn't supposed to happen because the WBO strap, if that's the strap that you need as an introductory strap into the welterweight division, it's not the strap that you should have went after. If Bob Arum and them wanted to align themselves into the Spence fight, although they were on Top Rank, they should have had Bud try to go after the WBA belt. Who had the belt at that time? Keith Thurman. They should have went under that line. Because trust and believe, if they would have went under that line and that lineage, eventually Bud and Keith Thurman would have to be a mandatory. And if Terrence Bud Crawford would have beat Keith Thurman, that would have given him legitimacy at the welterweight division. You know why? Yeah. Because Keith Thurman was the most decorated welterweight prior to Earl Spence being the most decorated welterweight. You see what I'm saying? You see how I'm putting 2 and 2 together here? And then he fights Mean Machine. You can't go against the trainer in Bomac when he out of his own mouth said that Terrence Bud Crawford was supposed to win that fight via knockout or TKO in 3 rounds. So again, who are we going to listen to? Because that same Bomac at the end of the fight looked bewildered. He looked shocked. He looked like, what is going on? Did my fighter actually win the fight? And you could tell he was worried in between because there was times they wanted to, you know what I'm saying, bring the mic to him and he was like, no, I don't want to talk. When you see a trainer do that, that means the trainer's worried for the fighter's sake and he doesn't want to pay attention to anything else but what's going on. The fact is, Mean Machine dropped Terrence Bud Crawford. He dropped him. So I don't even want to hear this nonsense about Terrence Bud Crawford. He got dropped. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And Mean Machine was robbed of a knockdown. I mean, this is ridiculous on so many fronts. Mm-hmm. Now, no one makes fun of mentally challenged people. I don't make fun of them. So I would never make fun of mentally challenged people. But I'm going to say this.
I wasn't making, yeah.
I'm going to say this. No, I know the joke that you were making. I'm just speaking in general terms. I'm going to say this. When we sit here and we look at Terrence Bud Crawford, we have to call a spade here, man. Terrence Bud Crawford is a fighter that's not fighting upper echelon fighters. And we have to see that for what it is. And when people say that I made 100 videos on Spence will bulldoze Sean Porter, he did. He outbrawled the brawler. That's a form of bulldozing. You guys do realize that, right? When you beat somebody at their own game, you bulldoze them. Did you not realize that? He beat
Yep.
Sean Porter at his own game, knocked Sean Porter down in the 11th round. Sean Porter had to get a complete reprieve. We've never seen Sean Porter get a complete reprieve. When he fought Dennis Ugas, it was a flash knockdown. When he fought Adrian Broner, it was a flash knockdown. But how come Spence's knockdown required for him to have a timeout? And if people are being honest with themselves, they would hit this on the horn. So when we sit here and talk about, well, Spence went 12 rounds with Mikey Garcia, he beat Mikey Garcia up for 12 rounds. What fight did you guys watch? In so much so that folks that have pandering narratives are now saying that Mikey Garcia doesn't deserve an opportunity. But just to go back to Terrence Bud Crawford, and I just want to make this last point. Terrence Bud Crawford is a fighter that has fought subpar competition, and he needs to be held to the fire for that. And this latest performance on Mean Machine, if you're not being real with yourself and saying, you know what, Terrence Bud Crawford at least did not have the performance that I thought that he was going to have, then you're not being an honest boxing fan. At least say that. Because if you're going to get on Spence about Porter, which Porter is actually a credible opponent, and last time I checked, he's an upper echelon welterweight, then you need to get on Terrence Bud Crawford off of a guy who really, this week, the last week when the fight was going to happen, I had people 2 days out saying, Terrence Bud Crawford going to fight? That's how they weren't even paying attention to the damn fight. Right. That's how you got something. And this is the guy that he got exposed to. Come on, man. Tom Ross, I'm done. I done said what I had to say.
Yeah, man. Y'all got my boy HeKnows hype, man. Y'all got my boy hype, bro. We definitely gonna get into that Spence, man. We definitely gonna get into that Spence, dog. But right before we get into that Spence, man, we gotta talk about Mikey Garcia, man. Not in relation to Spence just yet, but just him on his own merit. So now the pandering regime, now they turn their back on Mikey Garcia.
Oh man!
They said he was the next. They said he was the Mexican coming, the Mexican second coming of Floyd Mayweather Jr. Now they turn their back on him. You want to know why they turn their back on him now? Before he fights his next fight, you want to know why? They know he's not gonna look the same. They know he's not gonna look the same. So the thing is, panders, they're not loyal. You gotta understand, they're not loyal, man. Beta males, parasites, not loyal to the host. The host get ready to die, they jump onto another host, man. Woo. If a dog get ready to die, do you know what happened to the fleas on that dog? He found another dog that's living.
Facts.
He just jump right off the dog, go to another dog. Parasites, dog. Now that they know Mikey Garcia is not going to be the same. Even if he wins, he's not going to look the same. You know what I'm saying? Because who are we going to fight? Jesse Vargas? It's not hard to look good against Jesse Vargas. So even if he wins, he won't look like the same Mikey Garcia we used to, and they know that. They know that. They know he's not going to look the same. They know he took life-changing punishment. So now, guess what they're doing? He knows. Now they talking cash money shit about Mikey Garcia.
They didn't catch that Cash Money reference.
You know what I'm saying? Woo, now they talking cash about him, man. And now I'm gonna use that to segue into the Errol Spence. What people don't realize is Mikey Garcia didn't last 12 rounds with Errol Spence. If you call this lasting 12 rounds with somebody doing this in the hood, you got beat up on, man.
Facts.
That you wasn't fighting nobody. You got punked. If someone was hitting you and you were doing this the whole time, that's worse than getting knocked out. And y'all know this, man. People try to act like they brand new to the survival of the fittest, man. If someone is trying to hurt you and they have you in a position where you're not defending yourself, you doing this, he knows this is worse.
Surviving.
You're submitting the fact that you're in the presence of a superior being.
Facts.
That's what Mikey Garcia did. After the third round, Mikey Garcia submitted. He submitted as a beta. When alpha males attack betas, you know what betas do? They don't try to fight back. They ball up.
Facts.
So for him to ball up for all those rounds, he submitted in front of all his people that he was a beta male. He was in the presence of superior beings, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
Mikey Garcia then Mike Garcia did the last 12 rounds. Errol Spence let him live. Have any of y'all seen the movie Juice? Y'all remember when Bishop? Y'all remember when Steel was like, "So what you gonna do about it?" And Bishop said, "I'm letting you live, ain't I?" People, people thought that was funny, but then not Bishop try to kill Steel. He
He
really
did.
thought like, "I'm letting dude live.
Yep. He
Like I
tried
can
to he
kill
tried
dude,
to
but I'm letting him
eliminate him.
live." Right. So you gotta understand one thing, man. Errol Spence allowed Mikey Garcia to see another day. He could have
Mm-hmm.
ended his career, bro. I kind of feel like he felt bad for Mikey Garcia.
Facts.
He could have ended his career. He could have put him in a stretcher if he wanted to, man. When he started going to the body, what round was that when he started going to the body brutally?
Man, he started
Was
going
like
to that body. He started going to that body brutally
round
around
seven,
round
right?
4. And to me, it was earlier, round 4.
Yeah, yeah. But it was one round where he was just knocking him around the ring like a fucking like a ping pong. He
From
was just knocking him around. I'm
from
saying,
5 and up, Mikey Garcia, it was just a one-sided affair from 5 and up.
you know what I'm saying? It was brutal, man, and it could have been even worse. Could you
Mm-hmm.
imagine Spence with a train when Blu-ray came in there, man?
Oh man, he would
I
have
low key think
obliterated him.
Spence. I low key think Spence. I low key Spence ain't got no problem with Blu-ray. I think Spence was like, you know what? Long as I look like this, people are not gonna try me. Let me go ahead and let Blu-ray fall off the face of the map for a little bit. People can see that I'm not really punishing the Punisher style. They're gonna try to. Then Pacquiao gonna come out the woodwork. Down, but get back with Blu-ray, and I'm gonna polarize his ass.
That could be a good strategy. That could be the
Because you know what I'm
strategy.
saying? Because
You
listen,
never know.
because you imagine Spence working with Blu-ray coming in and fighting Mikey Garcia, it'd have been
Oh, it's
brutal.
over.
It'd have been a fatality, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that narrative needs to go away, man. And you know what? The same people who made that narrative that Spence don't got no Spence. Imagine this: somebody who got a 80, a high 80, maybe 90% knockout rate, don't have no power. Spence
Mm-hmm.
don't got no power because he could have put away Mikey Garcia. But it's like they didn't watch the fight. It's like right. He down there killed Mikey. You're right. He down there killed Mikey Garcia in the 10th round.
Yep.
It's like they didn't watch the fight because
Exactly.
was not Robert Garcia talking about, hey man, you sure you want to go out there? What about Robert Garcia? This the water, right? What's he like? Hey man, you want some more? You want some more? You want some more? You sure you want to go out there?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna let you go out there, man. Robert Garcia was begging him not to go back out there, man.
Facts.
He wanted to stop that shit. But you know what? Mexicans are so prideful. And this not being disrespectful or racist. They so prideful, yo. They will risk that man's life to say that they ain't quit.
Mm-hmm.
And thing is, Bud a sneaky motherfucker. Bud know a knockout victory for Spence after a pulverizing one sided would have meant that it would expose Bud because Bud can't do that. Bud can outbox you for a whole fight and then knock you out. He
Yep.
got to get touched up. So Bud told Mike Garcia, you better not quit, yo.
Yeah.
Because he ain't say that because he cared about Mikey Garcia. He didn't
Mm-mm.
want Mikey Garcia to get knocked out, to get stopped.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's a whole different ball game. If he
Mm-hmm.
whoop him all fight and then he get the stoppage.
Facts.
But you know what? The ref was a horrible ref. This is why I tell you, it's agendas in every sport. The ref was supposed to stop that fight in round 10.
Mm-hmm.
In round 10, he's supposed to stop the fight. Even the refs in on it. They're allowed to do the sit up in there. That's why I tell people boxing is a dirty game. He didn't allow him to sit in there and get beat up. I
Yep.
say from round 3, he was getting pulverized. And let this man
Mm-hmm.
get beat up for 9 straight rounds, man. Like he wasn't doing nothing but in a shell 9 straight rounds. And they
Facts.
ain't stopped the fight. That shit was boring, not because of Spence. It was boring because of Mikey. Like it
Mm-hmm.
was like basically watching Spence work out on a heavy bag
That's
for
facts.
36 minutes. For 36 minutes straight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's why I made that video long ago. I got a video. It's a heavy bag. It's a heavy bag with a Mexican flag on it. I said, "This is Mikey Garcia," because he was a Mexican heavy bag. He was daring to get beat up on.
Yep.
Like, and then people they spent that into something honorable.
Yeah. Facts.
Like, hey, Mikey's so tough, man. He's so tough that he took all those punches from Spence. That's not
Mm-hmm.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Why he ain't give nothing back? That's tough.
Exactly.
Tough is not getting beat up. Tough is fighting back, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing right there, man. So he knows. I say all that to say this, man. What you got to say about the panderers
Mm-hmm.
who made this narrative? They the one that created the narrative that somehow Spence wasn't what he said he was because he couldn't knock out Mikey Garcia, and now they turned their back on him. What you got to say about this, man?
All right, now I'm unchained, man. Y'all could call me Django Unchained right now, dog, because I'm ready to get unchained on this one, man. I've been waiting to jump on this one. Listen, man. Yeah. Mikey Garcia, I don't care how you slice or dice it. Earl Spence wasn't looking to fight Mikey Garcia. These are the facts. Is it not? Earl Spence was looking to fight Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, or Sean Porter. They were doing this triangle ducking thing of we're going to freeze Earl Spence out like it was the Cold War. That's what they were doing, a boxing Cold War in the welterweight division. They didn't want Earl Spence to get in because they knew once Earl Spence got in and he cracked in, it was over for any one of those three. And we come to find out to be true when he fought Sean Porter. But here's the thing. Terrence Bud Crawford did set up Mikey Garcia because Terrence Bud Crawford put in the bug in Mikey Garcia's ear. Hey, Mikey Garcia, listen, you're going to need to survive. Because what Terrence Bud Crawford wanted, it was a two-pronged thing. And actually, Terrence Bud Crawford succeeded off of the two-pronged thing. The first half of the two-prong that he succeeded on was this. He was able to successfully get Mikey Garcia to last 12 rounds. But at the detriment of Mikey Garcia's health. Because look at Mikey Garcia now. Look who he's fighting. He's fighting Vargas right now.
Vargas, bro.
Vargas is not even, we don't know if he's 140. We don't know if he's 147. You know, you could say he's 147. I mean, he's the lows of the lows. We just don't know. He's the low of the lows. That's who Mikey Garcia is fighting. That's who Mikey Garcia took his tail and tuck it in between his legs and ran away from PBC. Oh, you're stupid, Mikey Garcia. You know, you're an idiot. Mikey Garcia ran because he was getting a deal with DAZN. He was getting a $7 million deal. Mikey Garcia is a financially savvy guy. When you're sitting there spending money on cars left and right, that's not financially savvy to me.
Right. I'm sorry to say that.
I'm sorry to say that. When you're sitting there spending money on vehicles, you get it on Floyd Mayweather, but you're sitting there spending money. Every time I see Mikey Garcia is spending money on vehicles left and right, but he got on Floyd Mayweather about money. That makes no sense to me. That's a oxymoron, man.
Let me jump in real quick.
It's an oxymoron to me. No. You're gonna hold this one because I gotta finish eating this Spence and Mikey Garcia, dog. I have to eat this one. Listen, man. Earl Spence, and people must understand this. Earl Spence beat the living snot out of a 4-division champion. It's that simple. Earl Spence beat a guy who was 39-0, so I don't want to hear it. When Mikey Garcia got whooped by Earl Spence, the credibility goes to Earl Spence because Earl Spence beat a guy who was pound for pound ranked number 4 at the time. Do you guys realize that? Mikey Garcia was ranked number 4 pound for pound. The same people that are sitting here turning against Mikey Garcia were the ones that said that Mikey Garcia has better boxing ability than Earl Spence. He was going to outbox Earl Spence. That's what came out of their mouths. Mikey Garcia was the Mexican Mayweather. So what I don't understand, the god of skills, what I don't understand is this. How did you go from one end? I mean, that's an extreme or what we call a ridiculous paradigm shift. How do you go from one end of the spectrum and say that Mikey Garcia is the god of boxing skills to a complete other spectrum and say that Mikey Garcia is a has-been? Mikey Garcia got
Right.
beat up. And you know what's funny about pandering narratives? When you don't have no one that's telling the truth there, the pandering narrative, what it does is it ends up telling truth on themselves. Because here's the thing with panderers, they're always looking for the next pander to jump on. But if there's
Right.
nothing to pander, that means that both of them have to be bored and tell the truth. And
Right.
panderers told the truth and said that Mikey Garcia has no right to fight anybody in the upper echelon because Mikey
Right.
Garcia got washed. This came out of panderers' mouths. I'm telling you guys, man, when they don't have nothing to pander on, the truth has to come out of their damn mouth. It has to protrude out of their damn lips. Spence beat this guy to a bloody pulp, ran him over with his tail tied to all the way to the zone. Revealed this guy as a guy that was fighting nothing but what? Uber, Lyft, and hold up. Hey, taxi, Tijuana cab driver fighters. This is what Mikey Garcia was fighting, man. He thought Earl Spence was Adrian Broner. He thought Earl Spence was Robert Easter. And you know what was happening? He was proving that Earl Spence is a completely different animal. I see something in Earl Spence. You know what he saw? He saw an ass whooping. Go ahead, Tom Ross.
That's what he saw. That's what he saw, Dad. Hey, man, I'm glad you had let me jump in because we needed it. That also get energy. That motherfucker needs some glasses because he said he saw something. He needs some glasses, man. He need to borrow my glasses, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? Because he ain't see a motherfucking thing. He got that ass what? But I wanted to slide in when you brought Mayweather because Mayweather's whole career, even though he's making hundreds of millions of dollars, they'll call him out and saying he's gonna go broke because he'll buy a car or a watch here and there. Mikey ain't making shit but $5 million here, $10 million there. This motherfucker steady buying cars. You're not making that type of money. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you know, like, the shit's rigged against black fighters because they damn they do, they damn they don't. Floyd ain't bothering nobody. He just spending his money. He make enough money to buy whatever he want, but he's gonna go broke. Floyd need to watch it. Mind you, he just pocketed $300 million fighting Pacquiao. Floyd need to watch it, man. Floyd's gonna go broke if he keep buying these cars. Mikey Garcia, I don't think he never made more than $50 million in a fight, if that. But he said he buying Rolls Royces and shit. Mikey Garcia is living like a person that think he's gonna die soon. He doing everything in the world. Like, he living like somebody that think he finna kick the bucket. He buying all these cars, doing all this extravagant shit. I think he knows it's not that much longer until you get Alzheimer's.
Oh man, you went in, dog. They didn't catch that one. That's the beginning stage of CTE, man. I thought you were gonna say Parkinson's or something like that.
All three, man, they in a link. He knows a matter of time before he get either Parkinson's, dementia, or Alzheimer's, man. He know that. So he trying to do everything now where he can remember.
Exactly.
All right, man. Topic number 5. Topic number 5, man. Motherfuckers saying Danny Garcia is ducking Crawford, man. Listen. What people don't realize is Danny Garcia ain't even really been hurt in a professional fight yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about he been in there with Keith Thurman, with Porter. He been in there with some sluggers, and I ain't even see him visibly hurt yet, man. Danny Garcia don't fear Crawford. I don't think Crawford can hurt Danny Garcia. The problem with Crawford is Bob Arum said out his own mouth. And then Bud ran his dumbass over there to fight for Bob Arum. Bob Arum said this. He said boxers get paid entirely too much money, especially the boxers on PBC. Bob Arum don't believe in paying fighters, but he expect PBC fighters to fight Bud for nothing. because he used to sending Bud out there to die. Because when the boxer going to ring, he's going there knowing that he could die. He sent Bud off of there to die for $2 million. For somebody like Bud, that's disrespectful. $2 million is a paycheck. $2 million is a paycheck to like somebody who's up and coming, man. You know what I mean? Somebody that's undisputed supposed to be making at least $10 million a fight. At least, man. Put this motherfucker in the ring, $2 million to say, hey man, hey man, don't spend all that in one place. And don't forget to pay your trainer. You know what I'm saying? That's disrespectful. And you expect PBC fighters to fight for that? PBC fighters, y'all seen Boys in the Hood, man. You remember when Doughboy said, man, $5, I make more money than that doing nothing. PBC fighters make more money than Bud doing nothing, man. They're not gonna fight for that. They're not gonna PBC fighters not gonna fight for that shit that Bob Arum trying to get him. He tried to give Garcia, I think, $2 million, $2.5 million to fight Bud. Get the fuck out of here, man. But what people don't realize is Top Rank, they have this thing that they've been doing for decades. Top Rank only like to make in-house fighting. Only. Look at Tim Bradley. He spent his whole career fighting people that was in the same stable. and that's what they do. They get the WBO belt in all the ranks, from featherweight, whatever, with a bantamweight all the way up. They get the WBO belt, and they don't do shit but pass that belt amongst each other, man.
Facts.
Pacquiao won the WBO belt like 80 times. This nigga always loses. He always losing and winning the WBO belt, but never unified any other straps at 147, right?
Yep.
There's a reason for that, because Top Rank only care about in-house fighting, man.
Yep.
Bud and Top Rank is the reason why the PBC fight's not being made. The history is on our side. The people who have our argument, the history is on our side.
Facts.
Bob Arum has always sought out to make in-house fighting. Always. He didn't even want to make the fight with Mayweather. He was proud. He didn't want Mayweather to make that money. He didn't make that fight until it was going to make so much money that he couldn't refuse. He couldn't refuse, because if Mayweather got $300 million guaranteed, you know what that means? That means that was $1 billion fight. That means that fight generated at least $1 billion.
Facts.
You know how much money that is to get somebody guaranteed? We're gonna guarantee you $100 million. Soon as the fight over, and you guarantee $200 million when we start counting up the pay-per-views. You know how much money that means? That fight guaranteed almost $1 billion, man. That's the difference between being a cash cow and being somebody who's overpaid. Yep. Floyd was a cash. That's why they always call him Floyd back. You know, Floyd's a cash cow. Everybody gonna get paid when they come back. Canelo not okay. When Canelo leave, they ain't gonna call Canelo back. They gonna be glad his ass gone, man. Canelo is the worst. Canelo is the worst cash cow in boxing history, man. The Zone going belly up right now, fucking with Canelo. They're going belly up. They thought all the Mexicans was gonna go and they was gonna get that app. That's what they thought. But they don't realize Mexicans like to party, man. Mexicans like to get the PPV. They like to get the pay-per-view. They like to have the people over for the food, the drinks. They like to have that whole environment. You get the fight on an app. It's not the same, man. I'm telling you, it's not the same, bro. You watch this shit on your phone like, God damn, this shit look rigged. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same, man. So HeKnows. What the hell you got to say about the people who talking about Danny Garcia, fear of Bud, man?
All I got to say is they're fools. Because like my boy said earlier, Irvin Hendry, he got paid $3 million for the Rod Salka fight. And that was a tune-up fight. So why is Bud and them going to offer him $3 million? Come on, man. Danny Garcia is a guy that gets paid. Danny Garcia is a guy that, if you watch his fights, it gets views. What's sad is his own Hispanic community has turned against him. But they know damn well that Danny Garcia is arguably pound for pound the hardest hitting guy in the welterweight division. And those same shots, if it's Danny Garcia that's throwing it, that mean machine through, Bud is going down. Y'all got to keep it above here, man. He's going down. So stop going against someone because you want to hold true to the guy that you represent. It's not that serious. And when it's all said and done, let's keep it a buck here. Danny Garcia put Terrence Bud Crawford and them on the red carpet because he was interviewed for his upcoming fight January 25th against Ivan Redkach. And what'd he say? Terrence Bud Crawford and them, they didn't want no free smoke because they know if I throw my combination, right hand, left hook, guess what? When that left hook connect, Terrence Bud Crawford hitting that ground. And he talked about the fight that he saw on Saturday. Just put me in there and you'll see what time it is. That's all I got to say, dog.
Well, but we're not done with Danny Garcia yet. Because Danny Garcia, that ain't all he said. He got on Timothy Not Bradley goddamn head, boy. Do you think he was out of line for Timothy Bradley ain't nothing but a top-ranked puppet? And if he's so concerned with 147, he should come back and he should fight?
Here's the thing. Danny Garcia, the reason why they get mad at these PBC fighters is because these PBC fighters, they don't go according to boxing, according to these fight fans. Fight fans want fighters to bash their heads in and to beat their brains in so that they could be deemed as a fighter. PBC fighters don't do that kind of stuff. PBC fighters are independent contractors and free agents. They move the way that they can to help their families. And people got a problem with that. I told you guys, boxing is a three-pronged monster: economics, politics, and then pugilism. Fighters in the PBC side of Al understand financial independence because they were taught this by Al Heyman. They're not going to sit here and risk themselves on the line if the prize is not justified. So they get mad at Danny Garcia for being smart with money. They get mad with Danny Garcia for understanding his generational wealth and him taking care of him and his family. Get out of here with that nonsense. If Terrence Bud Crawford and them was serious, they wouldn't have offered Danny Garcia $3 million. And here's the thing. Danny Garcia was on fire in the interview because he killed Tim Bradley off the strength of this. If Terrence Bud Crawford is everything that you say he is, put him in the ring with me. Pay me what I do and put him in the ring with me and watch what I do. Because I'm going to tell you guys right now, y'all can say what y'all want. Danny Garcia has not failed in the square circle. Danny Garcia is the real deal, and he's goods when it comes to the welterweight division. He's fell short in these fights against Keith Thurman and Sean Porter, but he's fallen short because of his inept ways of him not letting his hands go and him being flat-footed. We know these things to be true about him, but he fell short against upper echelon welterweights. Key word, upper echelon welterweights. He didn't fall short against no damn Mean Machine. He didn't fall short against no Jose Benavidez. These are people that Danny Garcia could have knocked out. He didn't have to put everything into his power to knock out Jeff Horn. Because if Danny Garcia in Terrence Bud Crawford's position, with Danny Garcia's excellent ability of weight distribution and switching his weight in from one fist to the other, he would have proportioned that weight proportionately and in good distribution to knock out Jeff Horn. It wouldn't have took everything like it took Terrence Bud Crawford's whole literal soul to knock out Jeff Horn. So again, they didn't want to fight Danny Garcia because what we're seeing with Bob Arum is, like I said, they want Terrence Bud Crawford to get out of his bed, don't even brush his teeth, and go into the Spence fight. No heavyweight lifting. And last time I checked, Danny Garcia is an upper echelon welterweight. So again, why now turning your back on a Hispanic fighter? That's a pandering narrative. That's all I got to say, Tom Ross.
Now this next topic, y'all gonna love, man. This next topic, y'all gonna love, man. So let me wait till HeKnows get back. Hold on. What Cahill said? These same people are saying Gamboa is too old to fight Tank, yet are okay with Canelo entertaining a fight with 43-year-old Mayweather. Exactly. See, that's why I love this. I love this this show that we made. Now I got even other people looking at the double standards. You see what he said? HeKnows?
Yep.
They looking at it.
Yep.
But HeKnows, you're gonna love this topic right here, man.
Jump into it, man.
Okay, so the same people who said Tyson Fury won the fight between Deontay Wilder, hands down. Now these motherfuckers talk about Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury gonna shock the world when he beat Deontay Wilder. How's he gonna shock the world? Let me finish. If he already beat him, then how you gonna shock the world?
Facts.
Y'all say he already beat him. So y'all supposed to be thinking, oh, this shit ain't not this easy work. He gonna shock the world. I mean, he gonna shock the world. I mean, y'all know he didn't win. And y'all heard y'all know he didn't win. Because if he don't, it's like this. If he knows somebody go with somebody else, is it shocking? Is it shocking? No, you already knew that, man.
You just got
It's like watching a rerun of Martin. Is it shocking when Martin started talking about Pam? You know he don't talk about Pam at some time in the segment. It's not shocking. These motherfuckers said he gonna shock the world when he beat Deontay Wilder. Wow. Y'all for the whole last year, y'all say he beat the hell out of Deontay Wilder. Now he gonna shock the world if he wins.
Woo.
So you know what they're gonna say if he lose? You know what they're gonna say? They gonna say this. They're gonna say boxing cheated him. They're gonna say he gave all. They're gonna say he gave all he could give in the first fight. Boxing cheated him. He got old, and that's what Deontay won.
Okay. All right. You
know
get old, so you got old. You got old in the stretch of a year. Okay.
What people don't realize is he got old as soon as he got hit with that left hook.
Facts.
Because what people not talking about is this is what they're not bringing up. This is what nobody not talking about except for me and HeKnows. Tyson Fury has not been the same since he fought Deontay Wilder.
Facts.
He looked so bad against Tom Schwartz and against fucking I can't remember the dude's name. They fought these guys specifically for Tyson Fury. They're like, yeah, this is gonna make Tyson Fury look real good. He got his ass up in there and almost got stopped.
Woo.
That's courtesy of Deontay Wilder. Because Tyson Fury, he made a career of beating the hell out of guys like that. Easy work. Now he almost getting stopped by people you never heard of. So he knows what you got to say about these guys going a whole year talking about Tyson Fury was robbed, and now they say he gonna shock the world if he beat Deontay Wilder.
This is the stuff that I'm talking about. Pandering narratives is on a shaky ground. Why would you say that Deontay Wilder? Why would you say that Tyson Fury is going to shock the world and beat Deontay Wilder if he already did it? If he already won, there's no shock in the world. It's just basically what we would call confirming what you did the first time. You see what I'm saying? Photo heads, brain full of mush, and brainwashed followers. There's two variations of panderers. There's what we call dupers. These are what we call the high-end variation of panderers. They're the ones with the platforms they're pandering. They know exactly what they're doing. They don't even believe in their own pandering. That's the sad part about it, because I told you, if there is no other truth teller around to debunk, then when they look at each other, they're bored, and then guess what? They got to tell each other the truth. And sometimes if they don't got nothing else but to do, they might turn around and start fighting with one another. I don't know if y'all ever seen that happen. They start fighting with one another. No. Because they want to always look for a fight. And if they can't get the fight, then they end up fighting against each other. This is what pandering is all about. It's on a shaky ground. There's no solid foundation. Here's the other thing, too, that people need to put in the back of their minds. If Tyson Fury already beat Deontay Wilder, he should do it unquestionably and unequivocally. It shouldn't be a shock to the world.
Right.
Only shock somebody if it didn't happen, or if it is what it is, a shock. Right. Deontay Wilder knocked Tyson Fury out so much so that Tyson Fury had to run to the WWE for a $15 million paycheck. Do you know why he did that? It's so that Tyson Fury could have backup, because he knows his boxing career is done.
Yeah.
You guys don't understand what Deontay Wilder did. Deontay Wilder hit Tyson Fury so hard in those two knockdowns that he made Tyson Fury relapse. You know how I know Tyson Fury relapsed? Because he went on a soliloquy saying, I don't care about Deontay Wilder. I don't care about Paris Fury. How do you mention Deontay Wilder before you mention the woman you sleep with at night? That should tell you guys something. That means Deontay Wilder's knockdowns is living rent and space free in Tyson Fury's head. Anyone that's sitting here telling you that Tyson Fury, who is quote unquote a lineal champion, but he doesn't really have a belt, a guy who quit boxing after he fought Vladimir Klitschko. When you root for somebody like that, it tells me everything I need to know about your character. Because I done told you, if you quit one time before, guess what? You will quit again.
You'll quit again.
Tyson Fury quit, and those who support Tyson Fury are quitters. It's just that simple. Deontay Wilder technically knocked this man out, and there's a video surfacing online 14.06 seconds. I can't get past this, man. I cannot get past this. 5-second reprieve, and then 9.06 seconds to get up. But yet, he's going to shock the world? Okay, we'll wait for that one.
Right. So the people who support Tyson Fury, they always got two things in common. Like you said, man, they quitters or they stone cold as addicts, man. Like it's one pander. This dude, he a Tyson Fury fan. This dude legit just be getting high in front of his channel. So he get high so much to the point that his fans be like, hey, did you stop smoking weed? Because when you're a Tyson Fury fan, you either a drug addict or you're a quitter, dog. So it's either you quit on life or you can't quit at all. You just addicted. You know what I'm saying? but moving on, man. A lot of people like to say Canelo not ducking Andre. That Andre haven't done nothing. That's why Canelo didn't fight him. Let me debunk that right here, right now. That's a double standard, man.
Mm-hmm.
That is a double standard, man. You want to know why that's a double standard? That's like Floyd saying, I'm not going to fight Pacquiao because all Pacquiao did was fight my leftovers, so I'm not going to fight him. When you in a weight class, you are expected to unify. You're expected to try to get as much titles as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Canelo had 3 belts. 3. Canelo had 3 belts. All he had to do was make the fight for undisputed. What'd he do? He take his ass up and fight somebody at 168, man. Then he take his ass up and fight somebody at 175. Canelo, for some reason, I don't think Canelo think he could beat Andrade. Because if it's easy work, then why you don't fight? Who the fuck will turn down an easy fight for undisputed?
Facts.
Come on, man. Boxers, it's not that they cowards. Boxers, they want the cachet of being undisputed. Why would you turn down that fight if you know you can whoop them?
Mm-hmm.
That don't make sense, man.
Yep.
That don't make sense. The only motherfucker that y'all act like Canelo walking around this bitch like Ryu, man. Ryu the only person that be like, Ryu the only motherfucker that be like, I ain't gonna fight you because you ain't no challenge.
Yep. You ain't Bison. Man. You ain't Bison.
In boxing, if you got a belt, you fair game.
Mm-hmm.
You are fair game. And the fact that he had no one comes in the history of boxing that close to being undisputed and don't make the fights.
Facts.
When they get that close and they don't get it, it's because of politics, because politics kept them out of it. But Canelo was an A-side.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like Andrade was an A-side and Andrade didn't want to fight. Canelo was an A-side. He could have made the fight. He chose not to. He chose to fight a Rocky Fielding. You know what I'm saying? That's what y'all not getting here, man. A lot of these guys is not the real deal. They're not the real deal. And you know what? The media, boxing media had y'all so bamboozled that half of y'all was tearing down Floyd in the prime of his career because the boxing media had y'all so bamboozled. But y'all let Canelo get away with shit y'all would never let Floyd get away with.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all let Canelo get away with shit that, especially if you try to do it, y'all gonna tear him down.
Facts.
You think Spence could get all 3 belts and then just move on to another weight class and not make the undisputed fight and not try. What? They'll tear Spence up alive if you do that, man.
Mm-hmm.
And think about it. A real fighter won't even think about doing it. A real fighter gonna go for that undisputed even if they lose. They're gonna go for it, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? This is the reason why to me Canelo is smoking mirrors, dog. Smoking mirrors. That's why all records ain't the same. People look at records like, oh man, like they get so hyped up, like they get so hyped up about Chavez's record, man. Chavez, he fought over 100 times. You can't name you can't name 35 fighters Chavez fought, man. Out of 100, you can't name 35 because he ain't really fight nobody, man. And when he started fighting real names, it was always some fishy shit. Meldrick Taylor, Frankie Randall, Sweet Pea, always some fishy shit, man. You know what I mean? And that's and Canelo ain't shit but the return of Chavez to the sport. He ain't shit but a protected fighter. Turner Chavez, man. Rigging fights and shit.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all motherfuckers think Canelo really knocked out Kovalev, a game Kovalev, y'all need y'all need bigger glasses than I got, man. Y'all motherfuckers, y'all need some, like, man. Y'all really think that he beat him? No, man. That was rigged, man. But anyway, he knows. So what you think? What you got to say about the panders that's talking about Canelo don't gotta fight Andre because Andre didn't do nothing?
Again, a pandering narrative. I mean, there's just nothing on that just gives you any substance, any sustenance. It's just banter, man. You know, when you run out of stuff to talk about, you just say whatever, and then you try to make it sound clever and try to make it sound smart. And those that are not quick to the game, if you put some nifty, slick stuff into it, some crafty stuff into it, you can make it sound like it's educated, and really it's not. So now Andrade's ducking Canelo Alvarez. That makes no sense. That makes no sense when he's sitting there crying left and right for a big fight. How does that make sense? On one end, you could say, "Oh well, supposedly Jamal Charlo's ducking him, but Canelo is not ducking him." I mean, the double standard, man. This is what we're talking about here in boxing, man. And this is why we have this series, man, to debunk it. It makes no sense. It's not on solid foundation. It's a double standard. Because you just say stuff because you want to be opposite to something. Does that make any sense in the first place? Reverse
Right.
bias fans, detractors, aka panderers, they already have their own bias in how they see boxing. And if you don't see boxing the way that they do it, they tell you you're a casual. You don't know boxing. You know why? It's because you don't see it the way they see it. I'm a different human being. I was born differently. I have different comprehension. I'm supposed to see things the way you see it. Just when we come out of the womb, we're different.
Mm-hmm.
We have a different thought process. That makes absolutely no sense because I don't see boxing the way you see boxing. Your supposed limited one trick pony archaic way of seeing boxing is the standard. Get out of here, man. There's too many loopholes.
Right.
Because if it's a fighter you don't support, you have everything negative. You have nothing positive to say about that fighter. Even if the fighter does what they're supposed to, you don't have nothing positive to say about them. I mean, it's just
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous. But when it's a fighter you support, you want everybody to jump on that fighter. That makes no sense to me. So Andrade ducking Charlo is just another pandering narrative. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's all I got to
So
say.
he knows. He knows. So just just a couple of weeks back, after the Deontay Wilder fight, it was pandering narrative after pandering narrative. First, they tried to say Deontay Wilder only did 2.7 thousand. Then they tried to say he only did 30,000.
Mm.
Then they threw out a ballpark number and said, well, it has to be no more than 100K. It came out to be 200 some K, something around that area, right? And they said he flopped. He flopped. Pay per views. But mind you, Bud Crawford went from 2.3 million
Mm-hmm.
in viewership.
Mm-hmm.
Then he went to the big boy league. He started doing pay-per-view. Pay-per-view flop. Did
Mm-hmm.
100K. Nobody said nothing about that. Terrence Crawford, the pound for pound, only did 100K with Amir Khan. Then guess what? He brought his rabbit ass back to free TV. He brought. Think about that. And only did 1 million. It's Terrence Crawford and Top Rank the one that's flopping.
Mm-hmm.
People not realize is this. Everything about Top Rank is not what you think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Lomachenko last fight only did like 6,000. only 6,000 people came to watch him fight. But he's quote unquote the best fighter right now.
Wow. Okay.
Tyson Fury. They did a whole elaborate Rocky shit with the hat, with the
Mm-hmm.
American flag shit. This motherfucker only had 7,000 people in there to watch him fight.
Wow.
But just flop too. But what happened? 2.3 million people, which is respectable. 2.3 million, that's respectable.
Mm-hmm.
To being on PPV, and now he's back and he done dropped from 2.3 to just over 100, just over 1 million. You know what I'm saying? Everything they do flop, man. And
Mm-hmm.
because they dealing with somebody who don't believe in spending his money to promote. Only thing Bob Arum do two things. He greased the palm of the magazines to get your name on the list. And then all he do is talk bad about. Then all he do is talk bad about everybody else's cards and say
Oh
how
my.
his card is better. But there's no proof thereof that a top
Exactly.
ranked card is good.
Facts.
I haven't seen a good top ranked card in years, man.
Mm-mm.
The
Mm-mm.
last good top ranked card was when Floyd beat the hell out of Pacquiao. And he was
You
on the losing end.
know
You know what I'm saying? Bob Arum and Eddie Hearn do not make good cards, man.
Mm-hmm.
But Eddie Hearn is taking Bob Arum's place as the worst card maker of all time.
Mm-hmm.
His card is always it's either they bad, they're horrible, or all the shit they're scripted.
Facts. Facts. It's that simple.
The boxing scenes in the Rocky movies look more better than Eddie Hearn's face.
Yep.
Literally, when you watch Creed, I'd rather watch Creed boxing match in Creed than watching Eddie Hearn fight, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell which one's fake and which one not. Eddie Hearn put on the worst cards of all time, bro. They got the
Mm-hmm.
nerve to talk about PBC. PBC put on the best cards.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So we done knocked out all these topics. So if you got something on your head, you can shoot it out, or I guess we can leave it open to the fans. Cause I know the fans probably got shit they want us to talk about.
Let me just say this real quick, man. And I gotta make this very clear and preface it, man. People need to understand that Top Rank is been a joke in boxing. PBC has been setting the standard. Look at the Charlo and Harrison fight. Look at the buildup for that. This is what I'm talking about. Look at the Spence and Porter card. Spence and Porter is the fight of the year candidate. There should be no fight that comes above that one. And if there is, that's a travesty in boxing. It's a damn travesty. Charlo and Harrison has the potential to upseat the Spence and Porter fight. Again, what are we talking about here? They're mad at Al Heyman for cornering the market. He got both Fox and Showtime. Is it that? Because last time I checked, the reason why Terrence Bud Crawford did 2.3 to then 1.7 at the end, it wasn't because people were watching Bud and Mean Machine. They went to watch Coleman and Lopez, and they just stayed along for the ride. You guys do realize that it has nothing to do with Terrence Bud Crawford. It had everything to do with Coleman and Lopez. That's why they watched that fight, because that was the main event. This is what people don't understand. So they kind of stayed along the ride to watch the Terrence Bud Crawford fight with Mean Machine. So again, double standards associated with boxing. Our conversation is not a popular conversation in any boxing community, because what people have to understand is our conversation, the way that we're talking right now, goes against the grain. It goes against the grain. Now, the Facebook of the boxing community lines up with our conversation, but they get just as much flack as we do. But our conversation is not a popular one because we're hitting the truth, and they don't want to hear it. They just want to hear what sounds good to them. Calling Tank Davis Stank Davis, come on, that's a pandering narrative.
Right.
Saying that Jamal Charlo is a tune-up, that's a pandering narrative. When you got Eddie Reynoso and you got Canelo Alvarez both out of their mouth saying that Jamal Charlo is a great fighter and a fight of that magnitude will be great for boxing. Man, he kind of sounded like Floyd Mayweather in the way that he said that, because only Floyd Mayweather says a fight of that magnitude. Canelo actually said that. So I was like, damn, that's another thing he copied from Floyd Mayweather. A fight of that magnitude would be great for boxing. Come on. So how is he a
This nigga try to be Floyd. He try to dress like Floyd.
Exactly. And then the other thing too that trips me out is Anthony Joshua is a selective champion.
Oh yeah.
Deontay Wilder's a true champion. So what are we talking about here? Like, they don't want to hold these fighters accountable when they're not doing what they're supposed to. He was never supposed to lose to Andy Ruiz in the first place. Andy Ruiz is a Buster Douglas on steroids, a swooped up version. At least Buster Douglas held the belt longer than 6 months. And that's who Anthony Joshua lost to. But yet he's going to beat Deontay Wilder. Yet Deontay Wilder's ducking him. I mean, the pandering narratives are hitting an all-time low. And see, the thing is, the message that we're rendering is not a message that people want to hear, because you know why? It's a message that goes against the grain. It's allergic to their pandering. It's too much truth. Truth is not popular, man. It doesn't come in popular demand because people don't want to hear it. Because when you hear the truth, it hurts. You don't want to hear that. And it is what it is, man. But enough is enough. When you sit here and watch a Terrence Bud Crawford fight, knowing that he got exposed by Mean Machine, be honest as a boxing fan and admit that, man. Just say Terrence Bud Crawford did not have. I will respect you. I can count on my finger how many Terrence Bud Crawford fans I know that have left in the comment section. Hey, I'm a Bud fan, man, but I'm not gonna lie. Mean Machine kind of exposed him. I don't know. I'm reassessing the Spence fight. I was like, man, I went like this. I said, damn, that's somebody that's actually thinking with their brain. That's somebody that's actually using their brain instead of sitting there saying, oh, he'll fight differently against Spence. That's an excuse. Because if you're going to come after Spence for underperforming and not performing to the level that you're accustomed to him performing, which is obliterating opponents, right? Then you have to get on these other fighters that are underperforming, man. It's as simple as that. I mean, what are we talking about here? This is apples and oranges, man. It's ridiculous. That's all I got, bro. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, bro. So, like, I was gonna leave it alone, but man, now I'm back in this shit, man. Because the double standard is so blatant. But you know what hurts me? Not hurts me like physically, but you know what is frustrating me? That I expect outsiders to do that because they just don't want to see us succeed. I hate when our own people do the shit. How the fuck you gonna sit and be like Tyson Fury really dug deep to beat Oliver, and then say Spence almost lost. Like, who does that?
Facts. It makes no sense.
Why you hate your own people so much that you don't talk down on them, but soon as somebody else of another persuasion do something that's lackluster, you all up in arms about the shit.
Facts.
Fact of the matter is, Tyson Fury has almost got stopped, man. In his last 2 out of his last 3 fights, he almost got stopped, man. He overrated like a motherfucker. Tyson Fury is overrated. You can't be a master boxer and almost get stopped in every fight. But that's a top-ranked model. Tyson Fury, overrated.
Exactly.
Bud Crawford, I don't care what nobody tell me. Overrated. Lomachenko, overrated. Right now, even though I think he's climbing out of it, only time will tell. Teofimo Lopez overrated. But you
Mm-hmm.
know what? He wouldn't have been overrated, but he made himself overrated because he started talking about it's a takeover and he's the best at 135. If he didn't say that, then he would be just right where he at. But he made himself
Exactly.
overrated. Top ranked
Exactly.
fighters are overrated, bro. Because think
Mm-hmm.
about it. You don't really know how good they are because they only fight within each other. They
Fact.
only fight within each other. And then when they go out and fight against somebody else outside their stable, it's always excuses for them. I never see so many excuses in my life for a fighter like I saw for Bud and like I saw for
Mm-hmm.
Tyson Fury. I never seen that. But you want to know why? They white owned, man, so the media protect them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't nobody own Spence, man. Don't nobody own Floyd. Don't nobody own the Charlos. They work for themselves. Media don't like that, so they're gonna be on them, man. They can't do nothing wrong. But Bud, he white owned, man. As long as he white owned, Master gonna speak up for him. Master
Fact.
gonna speak up for his boy. And you know what Master said? Master said, "Mean Green, that's a tough dude."
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Sad thing about this, y'all even know who the hell Mean Green was just 2 weeks ago.
No one did.
Y'all ain't know nothing. All thing I knew about me, all thing I knew about Mean Green was that his name consists of at least 20 alphabets.
Mm-hmm. It's that simple.
This
You're
dude got
right.
the whole. This dude got the whole alphabet. That's the only thing I knew about Mean Green. Y'all ain't know nothing about Mean Green, man. You know what I'm saying? The thing about it is this: at the end of the day, the truth always gonna come to the light.
Facts.
So when these PBC fighters start knocking out these top ranked fighters, know that you heard it here first.
Yep.
It's gonna be excuse after excuse after excuse.
Excuse. Exactly.
It's never they never gonna say, you know what, you was just a better man.
Yep.
Excuse.
Yep.
Excuse
It's gonna
after
be
excuse.
another
Always
excuse.
excuses, dog. Because
Yep.
they can't admit that Al Heyman's model is taking over the game. They can't
Yep.
admit that some black dude who never even dealt with boxing and was dealing with music talent came and cornered the market.
Facts.
They
And
can't
the
admit
zone.
that he's
And the
doing it
DAZN
without
guys.
cheating.
When the PBC guys beat the DAZN guys too.
Right. They can't admit that he's doing it without cheating the fighters.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing it while making these guys better guys. No, I'm not going to run your company. You're going to run your company. I'm going to advise you. You're going to get paid what you're supposed to get paid. Just give me my cut as an advisor.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? He knows so much. He knows so much about the sport. He could get them paid and still be cheating them a little bit. And they won't even know because
Yep.
he's legally more smarter than them. He's not even doing it. That's right.
Exactly.
So Bob Arum wouldn't have a problem with it if he was doing the old model. The old model is the promoters get most of the money, and they feed the boxers scraps. The
Scraps.
boxers get fame. Mike Tyson had a lot of fame. He didn't have a lot of money.
Facts.
Muhammad Ali, man, he's one of the greats. He had a lot of fame. He didn't have a lot of money, man. Joe Louis, believe it or not, even Sugar Ray Robinson, he made a lot. He did a lot with his money, but he didn't get to pay the money he was supposed to get. He was the
Fact.
number one attraction in boxing. He's getting
Fact.
paid peanuts, man. They used to that and they loved that. But
Mm-hmm.
society do not. They don't want to see another Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Mm-mm.
that could come and go when he please, and then he rubbing in their face too, right? He do a lot of
Mm-hmm.
outlandish stuff he don't have to do, but he do. I know why he do it. To show them, like, listen, man, y'all try to stop me, y'all can't stop me. They don't want to see that. They don't want Errol Spence. Because Errol Spence, he ain't gonna rub in their face, but they don't want him to have that type of success. They don't want these guys to succeed because there ain't no white man there to take the credit.
Facts.
It's all brothers, man. And I hate to be this raw with y'all, but y'all got to hear from somewhere. You might as well hit it for us, man.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to. So when I see my own brothers say, I had a dude, he used to be on this show. He used to be on this show. He was a regular. For some reason, he not on here no more. Anyway, he a Tyson Fury fan. He said Floyd's career was manufactured, but he said Bud Crawford and Tyson Fury's, that's legit. They the real deal.
Hmm.
Floyd fought more champions than both of them combined.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Floyd unified more belts than both of them combined. Like, so when people say that, you can tell it's a self-hatred thing. Like, it's more so
Yep.
like, I can't get credibility to my channel unless I tear down my own people.
Facts.
And if that's the case, man, if I gotta do that, I don't need you to subscribe to my channel. If
Mm-hmm.
you want to come to my channel and hear me talk down on my people, you can stay over there. But a lot of these panderers, that's how they get all these masters because to be told, it's big business in tearing down black people.
Yep.
Very big business. Look at
It
all the
is.
big channels, man.
That's
Look
true.
at the majority of the big. Look at the majority of the big channels. All they do is tear down black independent fighters. That's all they
Mm-hmm.
do.
And it's supposed to be about just boxing, just boxing. That's the case.
Right.
Why are you tearing down fighters? Fighters of it doesn't matter what the ethnicity is. Why are you tearing down fighters?
Right.
It makes no sense to me.
It's just boxing, but they talk about everything but boxing when it's a fighter that they don't like.
Hmm.
When the fighter that they don't like, they talk about who the fighter's dating. They talk about how the fighter's dressed. They talk about how the fighter spend his money.
How the fighters look,
You know how
the
he look.
fighters,
Is
the
he
fighters'
handsome?
hairline. Who cares about that?
Right. Right.
They talk about my hairline. Who cares about that? The fact that you talk about another guy's hairline, something ain't right with that picture.
Right. Why you care about somebody's hairline, man? What they got to do with you? What? What? He would be more attractive if he had a better hairline? What you trying to say? You know what I'm saying? Because me personally, all men look the same to me. You know, I'm indifferent. They don't look good or they don't look bad.
Mm-hmm.
They just a person to me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So why guys just saying only people hate on Canelo because he handsome? Now who says that?
Exactly.
How you know
It
he
makes no
handsome? I
sense.
can't tell. I can't tell. He handsome.
That's sad, man.
So that's how we judge boxers now. We judge boxers depending on if women find them handsome.
So bottom line, what you're saying is they want you to keep it just boxing, but they're not doing that. That's a double
They're not
standard.
doing it at all. They're not doing. The only time it's just boxing when it's one of their fighters.
Yep.
When it's one of their fighters, it's just boxing. Don't talk about that. Don't talk about Kovalev and his drinking problems and his and his beating up women. Don't talk about that.
Don't talk
Right?
about Canelo Alvarez and his enhanced Clinton Blue paid to
Don't
lose.
talk about that.
Don't talk about that.
Don't talk about that. Don't
Don't
talk
talk about
about
Vasily Lomachenko requesting a WBC franchise belt. Don't talk about that.
don't talk about that at all. Don't talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Don't talk about Dillian White for the umpteenth time popping, for the umpteenth time begging for a Deontay Wilder fight, and for the umpteenth time coming in looking like Sloppy Joe.
Don't talk about Tyson Fury having another mental lapse saying, I don't care about Deontay Wilder. I don't care about Paris Fury. Don't talk about that.
Right. How you so worked about Deontay Wilder where you just your old lady? All she wants is the best for you. She don't want to see you get hurt, man.
Exactly. She told him, "Don't step into the ring with Deontay Wilder." She said that moment when he hit the canvas, I don't want to relive that again because she knows it could happen again. She knows it.
Right. She thought
That's
he was
sad,
dead,
man.
man. Let's be honest.
That's sad.
Let's
Like
be honest.
when you see your woman go like this, it's a wrap. Like Burger King, it's a wrap, dog. That mean they feel for you. That mean they don't want you in the
Right.
ring, dog. It's that simple.
Check it out, man. Tyson Fury's fans like to say that Tyson Fury won that fight hands down. Then how could everybody in his corner like they was about to cry? At the end of that fight, did you see how they all rushed back? They was fighting security trying to get to Tyson Fury, make sure he was straight. What? You ain't never seen no hands down winner with so many people concerned for his safety. The fight is over. He can't get hit anymore. They was trying to get him out that ring fast.
Oh man.
Bruh, man. Bruh. The double standard in boxing is ridiculous. And they would say with a straight face, Tyson Fury won that fight. And what people don't realize is they repeated what Tyson Fury said. They don't realize Tyson Fury suffering from delusions of grandeur. He's not a normal person. They don't realize that he suffers in his mind. He's a better boxer than what he actually is.
And the thing about it is people that root for Tyson Fury, right? People that root for Tyson Fury, are losing. They just like Tyson Fury. They losing. He's losing brain cells in the ring. They're losing brain cells because when you're addicted to THC, it makes you lose brain cells. So off rip, you don't even know what you're talking about.
Right.
You can't be a vegan on one end and then being on THC, having an excess of THC on the other end. You realize that's an oxymoron, right?
Right.
I might as well
Because
just
what people
quit
don't realize
veganism
is,
altogether because you can't use veganism to counteract the THC use. And you can't just say, let me turn the screen off black and let me put my face into the screen so that I can show in the screen that I'm serious. But we can see you high as a kite.
right. What people
Because
don't realize is,
when you're hallucinating, there's nothing that you could say that's telling the truth. The point that I'm trying to say is this is the case with Tyson Fury. He said, I
yeah,
skip abs day missing with Tom Ross, boy, because he be having me cracking up facts.
yeah,
Because the thing is, Tyson Fury is a guy who's lost brain cells fighting Deontay Wilder. Notice his same fan base have also lost brain cells in whatever addiction that they're in. Because you have to be on some form of addiction to go for Tyson Fury, knowing what you saw in the first fight. That makes absolutely
right,
sense.
right.
And then to tell
Well,
people Tyson Fury is going to shock the world. Shock the world in what fashion?
right.
How?
How you gonna shock the world? We already know he got knocked out.
Exactly.
And then if y'all know that he won, then why y'all gonna be shocked if he really win? You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? So check this out,
Facts.
man. The thing
All
that
right,
people
man.
don't realize is when you talking boxing and you're on YouTube, really you're going to work. And me, I don't hate on people who smoke weed. I find weed, good weed is natural, it's from the earth, right? Now I don't know what they selling. I don't know what they selling in these damn dispensaries. I don't
Mhm.
know. I don't trust the government enough to say that's good quality weed. I don't know. But what I do know is this: when you go to when you're on YouTube, you at work, man. And you need to be professional, man. You know what I'm saying? And if you're so high, you talking about Tyson Fury gonna knock out Deontay Wilder. You need to stop smoking. That means that strand of weed you got is too strong for you. If you so high where you actually thought Mike Garcia was gonna beat Errol Spence, you need to stop smoking. Because that's not recreation no more. Now you are becoming psychologically dependent on this drug. You
Which
need to let
means
it
it's
go,
an
man.
addiction. It's an addiction.
Right.
If every second you gotta talk, you gotta go like this. Hold up. Let me get serious. That means you have an addiction. Or you gotta go. Let me gather my thoughts. That means you need your thoughts together so that you could. But here's the thing: how are you collecting thoughts if you? Because every time you, that means there's brain cells that you're losing. I mean, come on.
Right.
You can't talk to someone rational and level-headed when they don't have nothing up here.
Right.
That's Tyson Fury. That's what you guys have to understand. That's Tyson Fury.
Exactly. Tyson Fury done snorted his brains out, man. That's what y'all not realizing. Tyson Fury look at the camera with a straight face and say, "I'm gonna beat Deontay Wilder again." Like,
Facts.
bro, nowhere in the history of boxing did someone win a heavyweight championship and get put on their back twice
Facts.
in a close fight. That fight wasn't a blowout. It wasn't a Canelo versus Floyd. It, it was a lot of posturing from it was a lot of swinging and missing from Deontay Wilder and some land punches. It was some land punches from Tyson Fury too, but it was mostly a lot of posturing, like a lot of stick your tongue out, but not really doing nothing. You can't win no championship like that. You got
Mm-mm.
concussed, man. It's like he talked like the knockdowns didn't happen. Like we ain't see him. We ain't see him down there get killed in that
Facts.
fight, man. He came near
Facts.
death, man. Do you see his chest when he laid
Oh
out?
man, oh
He
man,
was.
you killing me. You killing me, man. You killing me. Tom Ross, man, let's close this thing out, man. Let's close this out, bro.
All right, man. Once again, man, it's been real. It's been real, man. Thanks for everybody in the chat for coming out. You know what I'm saying? We're making this a concerted effort to expose all of the double standards that we come across, man.
hmm
Be sure to be doing the same thing on these other channels. When you see a double standard, speak up. Put it in the comments, man.
Facts.
Make them second guess what they're saying, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't just let people talk. Hold them to the fire and be like, yo, nah, that don't make sense because of this. You know what I'm saying? That could do the same thing we doing to these guys, man. That's all
hmm
I gotta say.
Man, Tom Ross, you separated the weak from the strong. You pretty much did your thing, man. Me, I just sat here and listened to everything that you had to say, brother. And I kind of just threw my little jabs, but you did your thing, man. Again, we ethered and
Mm-hmm.
murked what we needed to ether and murk, and we showcased that the double standards in boxing is real. And y'all need to spread that message, man. Y'all need to come to this series because this series is educating people on the double standard of boxing. Spearheaded by my boy Tom Ross TV, man. Y'all check that brother's channel out, man. Subscribe to his channel, comment, like, and share on this man's channel because he's giving it to you guys on all sides of the angles. And me, he knows the sport, man. I'm continuing to bring that heat and that fire. I've been consistent and authentic from the jump. I have not changed. I have not wavered. What you see is what you get with me, and it's in cold-hearted, unadulterated, and cutthroat truth-telling fashion. Tyson Fury took 14.06 seconds to get up. These are facts. There's a video on YouTube surfacing telling us that. That's facts. I don't know why people don't want to accept that. Pandering narratives are what they are, pandering. Tom Ross, close us out, man. That's all I got to say. And peace to everyone in the chat.
All right, man. Like I said, man, we separated the weak from the strong, man. Y'all be easy, man. And till we meet again. Peace.
Peace.